recorded live in Jacksonville, Florida. This is Trivial Warfare. More than just a pub quiz, Trivial Warfare is your gateway to a worldwide trivia community. Join your hosts, Jonathan.
We just described Ric Flair as Neanderthal Man and Planet of the Apes.
Chris.
Yo, we going down to Sesame Street.
That's your impression of hardcore rap?
Carmela.
That would irritate the hell out. I'm like, I just want my groceries. My ice cream is melting.
Ben.
4 halogens in that list? Oh my God.
You were like, it's not the halogens. I'm like, no, Ben, no.
Those damn halogens got me again.
And the rest of the Trivial Warfare Army for another week of fun and games. Now here's your host, Jonathan Oakes.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Trivial Warfare. We are the podcast that takes the pub quiz out of the pub and brings it home to you. My name is Jonathan, and I am here today with Nick Groves. Hello, Nick.
Hello, Jonathan.
You've been working on that intro, I've noticed, for months now. Do you feel like you finally perfected it, or are you still working on it?
I'm getting closer.
Well, Nick, I hope that it's someday that you finalize that so I can just get used to it, okay? Good luck with that.
Yeah, my hope is that eventually you can record enough of sounds, me making random sounds, that you can just replace me entirely.
That's right. Then I will also have you do Rick Astley and record you over music.
There you go.
To prank people with. So, Nick, we're going to have a great game today. This is a special game.
It is.
This is going to be episode number 436, and this is our SporcleCon Takeover episode. So, let me introduce our guests today. First up, from Sporcle, Jason Sterlacci is with us today. Hello, Jason.
Hello, Jonathan. Hello, everyone.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Darren Schultz is with us from Sporcle as well. Hello, Darren.
Hello. How's it going, everybody?
Doing great. Welcome to the show. And distinctly not from Sporcle, Tara Whittle is with us as well. Hello, Tara.
Hey, y'all.
Hello. Okay, now I want to get to know all of you a little bit better. Jason, we're going to start with you. Tell everybody where you're from, what you do, something fun about yourself, and if you want to promote SporcleCon right now, you go for it. You just nail it.
Let me put on my my Barker hat and get that started. I'm Jason, and I am from Somerset, New Jersey, right in the middle of the state. I am Sporcle's content strategist. If you ever visit our website, everything that's on the front page was either picked by me or I yelled about it being put there. One or the other. I'm also the head content writer, I guess, for SporcleCon, which has consumed my entire life. It's either I'm writing, I'm playing Zelda, or I'm watching Succession. It's one of those three things. That's all I'm doing with my life nowadays.
To be fair, this year's SporcleCon has only consumed you since like last September.
Yeah, pretty much. I think I took a week off. I was forced to take a week off.
Fair.
And I literally got right back into SporcleCon mode like right after. So yeah, it has eaten my life, but I love it. Fun fact about me that is not Sporcle related. I learned today that speeding cameras, you know, like the cameras attached to like red lights and things, they're real and they actually work. I was given a speeding violation today in Maryland from when I was at AwesomeCon a couple of weeks ago for work. In New Jersey, they're illegal because the Fifth Amendment, something. And yeah, I just paid a ticket for speeding from a camera, which was
Why
fun.
were you driving so fast? It was AwesomeCon, for God's sake.
I wasn't even driving that fast. It was like 40 and a 30. But
He's from New Jersey. What do you mean? Why was he driving so fast?
Exactly. Right. I've got a lead foot, and I'm from New Jersey. That's
He was speeding. He was speeding to get into New Jersey. That's the weird thing.
That's crazy.
Very true.
You know, Jason, ironically, I too have yelled about everything placed on the Sporcle homepage.
That's fair. You're talking to the right guy then.
All right. Well, welcome to the show, Jason. We're glad you're here.
Thank you.
Darren, tell everybody where you're from, what you do, and something fun about yourself.
Sure thing. Hey there. I'm Darren. I live out in Seattle, Washington. Beautiful, sunny, famously never rainy Seattle. I am a QA tester on the Sporcle website, so I deal with bugs and new features, making sure everything works as smoothly as it possibly can the first or second time around. something fun. In a couple weeks, I will be in Portland performing in the Portland Sketch Comedy Festival with my team Maple Daddies.
Ooh.
Oh, now tell me more about that. So what is a sketch comedy festival?
Sort of like SporcleCon in a way, where a bunch of like-minded weirdos who enjoy one specific thing, be it trivia or sketch comedy, get together in a town for 3 days and show off to everyone else who comes what they do and what they like about it.
So is this more improv stuff, or is this like you're building real scripts to perform?
Real scripts. We write them, we rehearse them, we refine them. We've performed in Toronto earlier this year at their sketch festival, and we'll be doing our 7th or 8th Seattle later this year.
That's very cool, but you have to watch out for modern slang now. When you call something a sketch festival, it doesn't sound appealing. It sounds very sketch.
Yeah, I can't wait for cringe comedy festivals to get
I'm going to CringeCon. All right, Darren. Well, it's great to have you on the show today. Thank you. And Tara, tell everybody where you're from, what you do, and something fun about yourself.
Well, I am from Troy, New York, which is in upstate New York. I live here half the time, and I live in Jersey City, New Jersey, the other half of the time. And I work for a management consulting firm that specializes in inclusion and diversity in corporations. I guess the fun thing about myself is related to the living in Jersey City half the time, because I met my partner kind of sleepless in Seattle style when I heard him on a podcast as a guest. And I thought, oh, wow, this guy is really cool. Things happened and we ended up meeting, and it was, I don't know, it worked out. And now we're trying to figure out how we make that 50-50 100%. So that's a little bit about me.
Very cool. It is, even if you live right next door to each other, making that 50-50 100% is not easy to figure out.
No, but it helps when you have a great partner, and, all the other things are easy. It's just a lot of driving.
Darn right. I love it.
I'm currently living with my partner, and I'm trying to figure out how to not be in this.
Nick is like, I'm striving for a 50-50 right now.
You know what? I'd take 70-30. It's whatever it takes.
Well, guys, we are going to have a great game today, and we're going to get started right now with Warm It Up, Chris.
It's time to warm it up on Trivial Warfare today. And there's only one person who can warm it up for the TWA, and that's Chris. And sometimes Jonathan.
All right, Nick, what do you got for us?
Today's Warm It Up, Chris is obviously it's going to be hosted by me, but it was authored by me, Brian Nash, Dustin Resch, and Scott Barber.
It's a dangerous combo.
Yeah, the four of us are in a chat group together, and we started making jokes, and then that turned into the Warm It Up, Chris for today. So I have in front of me a list of 20 -gate scandals or things that we made really bad jokes about. I'm going to tell you those jokes, and you tell me what the gate scandal or thing is.
I'm going to be lucky if I've heard of 5 of these, I imagine.
Oh, we'll see. Jonathan, at the 12 o'clock position on my screen, you are up first. Your clue is a goat shrinks under the pressure.
Deflategate.
Deflategate is correct.
Of course, you're going to give me a freaking Patriots question, you tool.
There you go. Darren, you're up next.
Okay.
Plumbers make a late night house call.
That's the Watergate scandal, right?
Watergate is correct. Very
Okay.
good. Tara, comet worshippers make one last pact.
This is Heaven's Gate.
Heaven's Gate is correct. 3 for 3 so far. No pressure, Jason. A Home Depot project implodes.
Home Depot.
Oh, no. Nick, you're awful. Think current, Jason. Or currents, as the joke might go.
Oh.
Ocean Gate is
It's
correct.
funny,
Very good.
I was like literally writing down possibilities and wrote Ocean Gate and completely immediately.
All right, Jonathan. Commander-in-Chief claims Clorox cure.
Okay, what would this be called? I assume this is Trump. I assume this is COVID vaccine, but I don't know the name of the gate. So I'll call it Vaxgate.
Vaxgate is not correct. It's actually Bleachgate.
Never heard of it.
Call it. Yeah, some of these are lesser known. For example, Watergate, fairly well known. Bleachgate, not so much.
Well, one's drinkable.
Yeah.
The other one's drinkable only once.
They're both
Right.
drinkable. Darren, creator of a new type of Windows.
Oh,
Bill Gates.
Bill Gates is correct. Tara, saints become sinners and receive pay to harm others.
I don't know. Why am I getting all the weird religious ones? First of all, I don't know. Priestgate? I have
Yeah.
no idea.
No, this was the
Hold
the
on,
New
let
Orleans
J-
saint.
let-
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Bounty Gate.
Yeah.
Oh,
Bounty.
oh,
Yep,
saints become
correct.
sinners. That's really clever.
oh. Yeah.
Yeah, Nick, throw
Well
it to
done.
anybody else who knows it if
Yeah.
the person misses it.
Sure. Jason, yours is Dunaway says la la, runs away in the moonlight.
So Oscar Gate, is that what that was called?
Oscar Gate or Envelope Gate. Either
Envelope
of those
Gate. I like that.
Either of those would have been successful.
Does Beatty Gate count? Was it Beatty who read the thing?
No, Beatty handed it off, so that
Yeah.
he didn't have to read it.
Jonathan, the largest expression of international orange.
Golden Gate.
Golden Gate is correct. Darren, when the king was a prince, he tried to hide his miss.
Was it Camilla Gate?
Camilla Gate is correct. Very good. Tara, the president's brother is an idiot and very gruff.
Oh, is this just like Billy Gate?
Billy Gate is correct.
Billy Carter?
Yep.
Yes. Billy Beer.
Jason, it's MacGyver with a teleporter in space.
Stargate.
Stargate is correct. Jonathan, a modern warship that is smaller than a destroyer.
A modern warship that is smaller than a destroyer. We all know the destroyer only has 2 pegs in Battleship. That was the smallest of the warships that we were all taught as children. I'm not getting the joke here. I don't know.
Tara,
Is this a frigate?
a frigate is correct.
Oh. You're calling a frigate a warship?
A little bit
That's
of
a
a reach
real
there, but
stretch there.
I'll allow it.
That is the Oxford definition of a frigate.
Oh, whatever. That's an English definition. Give me an American definition of a warship.
I want American definition. Webster's. Darren, a presidential candidate told cars, "You shall not pass."
Oh, is this like EV Gate?
EV Gate is not correct. Tara or Jason?
I mean, I think it should be one of us.
Yeah.
It's got to be Bridgegate with.
Absolutely.
Oh,
I refuse to say my boy because I absolutely despise him. Sorry if you're listening, Chris Christie. He closed down, what was it, the George Washington Bridge? Was that what it was?
Yeah, like during rush hour.
Somebody died because, like, in an ambulance, I think.
Like an ambulance got stuck on the bridge,
Wow. I noticed that Nick didn't try and throw that to me. He said specifically Tara or Jason.
Well, it's New Jersey.
I felt left out.
JerseyCon.
Right. They also were both adamantly shaking their heads up and down. I'm not saying that you didn't know it, Jonathan.
I was sitting
but
over here
they-
eating paste.
Yeah. Tara, Will's hand gets caught between a rock and a hard place.
Is this just, well, it's not going to be Oscar Gate. It's like Slapgate or
Slapgate is correct. Very good. Jason, it depended on your definition of is.
Oh, God. Okay, so this is Bill Clinton, Monica Lewinsky. I mean, there are words that I think will get censored if I say them. I'm going to just say Lewinsky Gate and hope for the best.
That's Monica Gate. I'll give it to you.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, Jonathan, last time through, y'all are doing very well. When the moon hits your eye like a child sex ring lie, that's
Epstein Gate?
Epstein Gate is not correct.
No? All right. Well,
That's the last one I had written down when you is.
All right, so Tara, Pizzagate is correct.
I don't know the details.
That was the QAnon claim that there was a child sex trafficking ring under a Washington, D.C. pizza parlor.
Ah,
Not bad.
that's okay. Sure. I don't read QAnon claims.
Sure. Darren Schultz. Darren.
that's me.
Yeah. Darren. Ronnie can't recall, so Ollie took the fall.
I don't know. This one's got me. Ronnie and Ollie. It's something scratching my brain, but I don't know.
No, it's Contragate, around Contra.
Right. Ronald Reagan.
Ollie North.
Ronald Reagan,
Okay,
Ollie
yeah.
North. Yep, exactly.
You're a baby, Darren. Don't worry about it.
Tara, your last one. Before the Hunger Games, the dogma of their gods and men was an affliction.
Before the Hunger Games, the dogma of, say that again?
I've got a guess. I've got a pretty good guess.
Before the Hunger Games, the dogma of their gods and men was an affliction.
I don't have a guess at all, so I'm just going to throw it to my teammate there.
All right. Jonathan?
Lionsgate.
Lionsgate is
the movie
correct.
company.
Yeah,
Very
it's
nice.
the movie studio that produced all those movies. So very good work.
Nice.
And Jason, the last one, Justin overexposes the sun.
Justin overexposes the sun?
Why would you do that, Justin?
This one's a deep cut.
I'm trying to think of Justin's. So it could be Timberlake, it could be Trudeau.
Oh.
I'm going to say Canada Gate and hope it's about not hope, but it's like maybe the blackface incident that he had.
Go back to Timberlake.
Go back to Timberlake. Oh.
Canada Gate.
Go back to Timberlake. When did he expose a son?
Oh, is it Nipplegate? Yeah.
Nipplegate is correct. Yeah, that was that. So, all right, pretty good there until the 0 for 4 at the end. But as teammates, you all got each other's back. So excellent work on today's Warm It Up, Chris.
There we go. Very cool. So this is episode number 436. We are going to have an absolute blast of a time. We're going to get into some details about SporcleCon in the midpoint, but I do want to encourage you right now to go buy a ticket. If you haven't bought one yet, you need to go to SporcleCon.com, go to the Buy Tickets button, wherever it says Buy Tickets, and use the code TWA to save some money on your ticket. It's very easy. You want to be there because if you're not there, then you're going to be on social media because you listen to this show, okay? First off, you're a trivia person. You're listening to this show. You're probably friends with other people who listen to this show. And do you know how bad it's going to feel when everybody else is there and posting pictures and having a great time and you're on social media like, crap, I'm missing out? Here's the cool thing. You don't have to miss out. Go to SporcleCon.com, buy a ticket, use the TWA promo code, save some money, and I hope to see you there. Okay? So, today's game, it's going to be Jason and Darren versus Jonathan and Tara. Nick is hosting. And it's time to play the game.
Players. Oh, yeah. Y'all know what time it is. This is Mr. Literature himself, cordially inviting you to the game. This is 6 rounds of trivia goodness. 3 questions per round. Every right answer gets you 10 points. In the middle, we'll take a pause for the cause and ask a midpoint question worth up to 20 juicy points. After round 6, you can wager any or all those points you've been building up and take a shot at the final round. It's a series of theme-based questions we call the Gauntlet. It's just that easy, baby. But this game ain't gonna play itself, players. Let's get it on.
Here we go. Round 1, question number 1. Your category is It Goes in the Square Hole. Which movie made $1.4 billion at the box office and featured a love triangle between Chris Pratt, Anya Taylor-Joy, and Jack Black?
We're locked in.
Yes.
All right, nothing jumps to mind, Tara, but maybe this is like a Kung Fu Panda movie?
Maybe it goes in the square hole.
A round peg? Peg is the name of a wife in a cartoon. I think so. Jack Black definitely does Kung Fu Panda.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't remember any romance stories in a Kung Fu Panda movie.
Anya Tate, whatever her name is.
Queen's Gambit.
Is the Queen's Gambit
and
person.
The chef movie, the latest We Eat People movie.
The latest week. Okay.
I'm assuming that's what that movie's about. I haven't actually seen it, but it's not? Really?
No.
Well, beep. They sure did make it seem like that in the advertisements.
I will admit, they definitely sold it that way.
Okay.
I haven't seen it either, but I did assume that he was some sort of criminal or murderer of some kind.
That's closer.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, those two things go hand in hand.
hold
Anyway,
on,
let's stick with the question.
Yeah,
They've locked in.
Sorry. We locked in.
Okay, I missed that. Okay, so 1.4 billion is a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. Jack Black has done the Jumanji movies. She's not in that. Who was the other person? It was Jack Black, Taylor-Joy.
Is it Chris Pratt?
Chris Pratt.
The worst Chris?
Mario Brothers. Maybe Mario Brothers. Chris Pratt's Mario. Jack Black is Bowser. And I bet you Peach is Anya Taylor-Joy. This is going to be Super Mario Brothers. This is where Jack Black is Bowser saying, Peach, 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 Peaches.
I definitely did not see that. it sounds current enough that it could be this combination of people, especially Anya Taylor-Joy. So I'm down with whatever you think.
All right, we're gonna say Super Mario Brothers.
All right, they said Super Mario Brothers. Darren and Jason, what did you say?
We also said the Mario movie. Super Mario Brothers, the movie.
All right, both teams said Super Mario Brothers movie. Both teams are correct. 10 points for each team. Good work.
God, I was panicking there for a little bit. It's like, oh no, these are people we know by face.
Mm-hmm.
And a movie that's made so much, you've definitely heard of it.
No, I saw it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's the only movie that's made like any money this year.
No, Guardians of the Galaxy, I think. Also
I'm exaggerating
real close,
only slightly.
Here's the rules: you have to have Chris Pratt in your movie to make money.
In order to make money,
now.
That's true.
now.
That's how it works.
He's so cool.
Can't wait for him to play Garfield. It's going to be great.
Round 1, question number 2. The category is For Your Edification. Originally swimming to the island after a Spanish shipwreck during the colonial era, Maryland's Assateague Island is known for being the home of the descendants of what animal species?
I like that Tara's nodding her head as if she knows this because I don't know any of these words. Okay. Yeah, no, I think you've got the answer that we need.
Yeah. So we can lock in?
Yep.
Okay.
Jason and Darren, you can talk out loud.
I'm torn between two things, Darren. I'm flashing back to like the story about like pigs. I don't know why, but that might be like a West Coast thing. And then for whatever reason, I'm also thinking about it's just like farm animals all the way down. It's either pigs or horses, I think. I watch it be like, I don't know, lemurs or something
What
like
about
that.
clams? Clams swimming its way to shore.
To the island.
Maryland clam.
Maryland clams.
Maryland known
Horses-
for its
yeah.
clams.
That's my point.
I think horses make more sense and are also more notable because there's definitely pigs on a lot of like South Pacific islands
That's
now.
a very good point. You want to go with that then? You want to go with
Yeah,
horses? Okay,
I like
yeah.
horses.
Then we're gonna go with horses and hope for the best.
Jonathan and Tara, what did you say?
Boo.
You said
No,
goat?
as soon as you said the name of the island, I said, well, this is the place that's known for having wild horses. And, you know, there are a lot of Caribbean islands where they have pigs. And all those pigs are in the Caribbean because of Spanish ships and Italian ships bringing them over. But in this case, we're pretty sure it's horses.
All right, so both teams said horses. Your correct answer in the category of For Your Edification is horses.
Why did you repeat the category? Where's the clue in the category?
Yeah, why? What? I don't understand that.
Because the answer is For Your Edification.
Oh,
Horse,
no.
Horse.
Edification.
That's horrible, Nick.
Well, it's funny. My partner's name is Ed. And so when you said that, I was like, oh, my edification. I like that.
Yeah.
So.
All right, 10 points apiece. Question number 3 in round number 1. The category is The Results Are In. The newest paternity test on the market is endorsed by which celebrity personality, whose wife was a trailblazing anchor for the nightly news and whose father was a venerated sports journalist for the Washington Post?
Oh, Darren, that answer makes me laugh.
I bet he's answering the same thing I'm about to say. We can lock in with your right answer instead of my fun answer.
Oh, yeah. I was hoping that we get like bonus brigade for the name of the wife.
Yeah, Nick's being stingy. Stingy Nick.
We're of the opinion that this might be Maury Povich.
Doesn't he say the results are in? Isn't that his catchphrase?
And if that's not the case, it's at least a really funny answer.
All right, so they are locked in with Maury Povich. Tara and Jonathan, what did you say?
So I was arguing for Nick Cannon. Because if anybody has experience with paternity test, it's Nick Cannon. But Tara said I was wrong, so we went with her answer.
Which was Maury Povich as well.
Yep.
Famously married to Connie Chung.
That's right.
Yep. And his father, Shirley Povich, was one of the great sports journalists of the era. So Maury Povich is your correct answer.
Connie Chung, famously in the New Jersey Hall of Fame for reasons that are not actually very clear.
No, she went to the University of Maryland. So maybe she's from, I don't know.
She lived briefly in New Jersey.
Connie Chung is an idol to everyone.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I mean that half seriously. Like,
Maury Povich's catchphrase is "You are not the father," or "You are the father." But yeah, but that was the whole point. Was that his show kind of devolved into nothing but paternity tests and fighting. So after round number 1, the scores are 30-30 with both teams pitching a perfect game.
Thanks.
Well, now that you've said that.
Round number 2, question number 1. The category is career change. Which former child actor drives the number 30 Hair Club car in NASCAR's ARCA series and no longer finds himself in the middle of the pack by currently sitting in first place for the 2023 season?
Yeah, you know what? That makes perfect sense. We're locked
in.
Yeah.
All right, they're locked in. Tara and Jonathan, you can talk out loud.
Is this going to be the kid from Malcolm in the Middle?
Oh, yeah. Frankie
Muniz? Muniz? M-U-N-I-Z?
I see. Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
I keep having to remember to look at my phone thing.
Tara
thing.
visibly starts nodding, and I'm like, cool, she's got an answer, and I'm waiting for it. It's like, there's no answer there. Okay.
Well, at first I was like, Danica. No, wait, no. That's the wrong person.
There we go. Yeah, no, he said something about being in the middle of the pack, and that was the clue for me.
Very good. Yeah, he's definitely like, I don't always remember things, but I recognize the right answer when I hear it. So
I love that.
I can visualize him in like racing accoutrement. I don't know.
So we said Muniz.
All right, they are locked in with Frankie Muniz. Darren and Jason, what did you say?
You're not the boss of me now. It's Frankie Muniz.
Frankie Muniz is your correct answer. Good work.
I think I saw an interview with him recently where he said he was one of the last people to talk to Dale Earnhardt Sr. before his crash.
Probably likely. Yeah. I mean, I can see him
there on the day and said, hey, have a good race. And Dale Earnhardt Sr.'s like, thanks. And then he got in his car.
So it's his fault.
How old was he?
Right.
Young. He was pretty young.
He had to be. Wow.
So funny enough, the reason I put those two questions back to back is the way I came to the Frankie Muniz as a NASCAR driver now is because when you look up people like Nick Cannon and who has like the most children, there's a rumor that Frankie Muniz has like 28 children. It's not true. But it was 26. I came through this whole list of Frankie Muniz rumors, and it was like a Snopes where it was like, this is true, this is not true, and it was like Frankie Muniz is a champion NASCAR driver, and it's like, yeah, that's true, and I'm like, oh my god,
how do you know it's not true?
How do I know that he doesn't have 27 kids? Because the website said so.
It was in a QAnon article, so you knew it was false.
Yeah. All right, round two. Question number 2. The category is We're Number 2. Named after an English writer and religious thinker, and following Delaware, what was the second state admitted to the United States?
We're locked.
All right. Is this going to be Pennsylvania?
Yeah, either way. I can reread it. It's not. I can paste it too.
So it's not not New Hampshire. It's not Vermont. It's not Maine. It's not Massachusetts. It's probably not New York. It's not Connecticut. It's not Rhode Island. It's not Georgia. It's not North or South Carolina. Doesn't it have to be Pennsylvania?
I think it's got to be. I mean, Rhode Island was originally like Providence plantations, and
and it's not Virginia.
I think it's got to be Pennsylvania.
I think it does too.
Yeah, I feel like I just had this question, and we had this whole debate, and I think we ended up with Pennsylvania.
Me and you? No way.
No, not you. I was sorry.
I haven't been to Pennsylvania in years.
Different way.
We'll say Pennsylvania.
Jason and Darren, you were pretty quick with it. What did you come up with?
So I know all the states in order, like complete nerd, more so than even like a regular nerd. So Delaware's first, New Jersey is third, Pennsylvania is second. You could have stopped there.
I couldn't stop there. I didn't even name New Jersey.
Pennsylvania was answered by both teams. Pennsylvania is correct.
All right.
Good work. All right. Round 2, question number 3. Your category is It's Meaty. Which Duke is known for his victory over Napoleon at the Battle of Waterloo, or possibly better known for his mushroom-coated steak pastry?
For sure. Locked in.
Locked in.
Oh, wow.
I think we need an honorary hammer blow because y'all aren't saying that you know it for sure, but this is
Absolutely.
Yeah. If you don't cook this right, what's his face is going to call you a donkey. It is a Wellington.
Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah, I can't remember people's names tonight for some reason. It's a long work day.
Really bodes terribly for a trivia game where you have to come up with
I've got Tara on my team. As long as I just help us go in the right direction, she's going to help us bring it home.
After round number 2, both teams still tied with the perfect game at 60-60. How does everybody feel about the game so far? Are we feeling good about ourselves?
I think they've been more perfect than we have, so that's just the feeling I have.
I just like that I'm typing in some answers before Jason does. That's just making me feel good.
Typed them in most of. You're carrying me right now.
No,
you got William Penn. No, sorry, I got William Penn. You got Wellington. You got Muniz. I had no idea on that. You got Mario. Like you're doing just fine, Darren.
Oh, you're too kind.
That was really a nice moment.
There's
we have to like talk to each other at work tomorrow. So.
Oh, that's true. There's a monument to Wellington in Phoenix Park in Dublin because he was an Irish guy. And it's the second tallest obelisk in the world after
Washington Monument.
The Washington Monument, where SporcleCon's going to be.
That is correct. Look at that tie-in. Look at the flawless marketing out of the QA tester.
Wow. That was some quality advertising.
All right. Well, I'm glad everybody feels really good about themselves because that ends now. Round 3, question number 1. Your category is The Princess Diaries. When trying to create the Legend of Zelda game, Nintendo head Shigeru Miyamoto was told to contract a great writer to create a backstory for the entire game. Which writer did he hire? He ended up naming the heroine after his wife, the only detail Miyamoto kept from his work.
Right. Or paste it in the chat, please.
Yep.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking too, but it's like, I mean, what do you got?
We're going to lock in.
Tara and Jonathan, what are you thinking?
I wouldn't say 90s. This would be 80s.
Oh, 80s?
This would be maybe even late 70s, depending on when they started creating the story. Yeah, we both immediately went to Zelda Fitzgerald, I as a joke, and you saying definitely not. Because, I mean, Zelda Fitzgerald, or rather F. Scott Fitzgerald, if he was writing in the 20s, and I believe he was writing in the 20s or the 30s, dude wasn't writing in the 80s. He was long dead, right?
Right.
There, so
it's got to be someone who was a well-known writer in the 70s.
70s and 80s, maybe somebody like an Updike or a King.
A great writer.
I mean, Updike had two Pulitzers or 2 Nobels in literature?
That feels too...
Zelda.
Was he still alive then?
I don't know. Wolf?
Norman Mailer? Well, that would be an excellent time for Jonathan to do some Jonathan.
He's working on it over here. That's why he's opening the idea of stereotyping.
You know what?
It's too early for Cormac McCarthy.
I'm going to step in real quick because I am checking my sources on this and I am getting multiple conflicting sources, but some math doesn't work. So I'm going to slightly alter the question and it's not going to affect anything.
Knock yourself out?
Let me slightly alter the question. Here is the revised question, and I'm going to paste it in the chat so you can see that as well. When trying to create the Legend of Zelda game, Nintendo head Shigeru Miyamoto was told to draw inspiration from the works of great writers to create a backstory for the entire game. While he didn't use any of that inspiration, he did end up naming the heroine after the wife of which author, his favorite among the sources.
We're still locked in.
Well, I mean, now that we know the question more accurately, Tara, I think that we do have to go with Fitzgerald.
I retract my, it ain't Fitzgerald, and say it absolutely is Fitzgerald.
I'm with you. I think we're saying Fitzgerald.
We're also going with F. Scott Fitzgerald, even though, I know the way the question was originally worded, it didn't make sense because Fitzgerald died in, the 20s. I love The Legend of Zelda. I've spent far too much time playing Tears of the Kingdom.
Same.
A lot of 4 a.m.s where I'm like, oh God, I have work in a few hours. And I know that he named Zelda after Zelda Fitzgerald. So, yeah, that was easy.
All right, so both teams said F. Scott Fitzgerald. Both teams are correct. F. Scott Fitzgerald is your right answer. Good
It's
work.
definitely good that you changed it because I would have thrown the question out after we missed it.
Oh yeah.
It would have been like, dude, that's impossible. The way that you've worded this question, it could not happen.
So here's the thing. F. Scott Fitzgerald died in 48. Miyamoto was
48.
born in 52. I'm very, very confident that the math doesn't check out on the original, but there are multiple articles out there that say that.
God.
So I'm glad I fixed it too, because now it's Joel's problem.
Are you telling me something on the internet was wrong?
Yeah, I know. Go
You know
fix it.
Robin
Telling me
Williams
there's no
named his
fruit
daughter.
in Fruit Loops or
Quit
something.
sourcing from
Robin Williams named his daughter after Princess Zelda.
Yes.
Quit
Yeah.
sourcing your
It's a
questions
biggie.
after QAnon sites, Nick. Come on.
Question number 2 in round number 3. Your category is sports. In 2012, which Olympian who won 3 silver medals and a few more gold ones made the longest ever televised putt at a PGA Tour event? A putt that measured 159 feet.
Good God almighty. Oh, Lord.
Yep. It's a long putt.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, we're going to lock in.
So, Tara, I'm asking what amounts to be a dumb question, but is golf an Olympic sport? Because I would assume if you're making a putt at a PGA Tour event that you're probably a golfer.
Did it say a PGA Tour event?
It says it in the question. Televised putt at a PGA Tour event. So is golf an Olympic sport? Is the big question, because if it is, we should be naming golfers.
You know what? I don't think I've ever seen an Olympic golf match.
I don't think I have either.
I've seen plenty of like
Ryder Cups,
Cup and
yeah,
things like that, but I don't think it's an Olympic sport. But I also don't think Frankie Muniz has 28 kids, but I can't prove it isn't.
159 feet is legitimately tremendous. It is so far.
Mm-hmm. If we're naming a golfer, like why? Why is the Olympic medal piece in this question?
Well, I mean, it would be if
it's not someone who's not a golfer.
Because if golf was an Olympic sport, then this person could have Olympic medals in golf.
Sure.
But if it's not, then it has to be like a pro-am thing. Like he says, a televised putt at an event. He doesn't say a tournament. He doesn't say during the main thing.
Exactly.
So it could be a pro-am.
It says event.
If that's the case, I definitely like the logic of a few more gold ones, meaning an outrageous number of gold ones, as the trick of the question and going Michael Phelps that way. Mm-hmm. I have no problem with that. And quite frankly, I have no other way to provide logic to give us a different answer.
Right.
Because there's no other clue in here that the clue is in what is not said. If it's Phelps.
It becomes who was a good golfer at the time. So then you got to pick Mickelson or, Woods, or I'm fine with going with Phelps, and maybe golf is an Olympic sport and we're just, too busy watching gymnastics and shot put. And
yeah. All right.
Know.
We'll go ahead.
I'm good with Phelps
Let's do it. Phelps.
All right. They are locked in with Michael Phelps, Darren, and Jason.
We didn't say Michael Phelps.
What do you think?
We said Phelps.
They are locked in with Phelps.
So, golf is an Olympic sport. I think it was added in Tokyo, I want to say. If not, it was
Isn't that next year?
Rio.
I'm bad with years.
No,
it was in 2021.
It was held. Next year is Paris, I want to say.
Yes.
But even if in 2012 it was an Olympic sport, golf's only got to be like one medal. Like, you won the golf.
Here's your car, a Volkswagen Golf.
Yeah, you won the golf. Here's your medal. Like, there's no way to get like a ton of gold medals. Even like mini golf, maybe. I don't know.
The driving competition, the putting competition, the caddying competition.
It's like
closest to the pin.
Skins,
drinking competition,
longest pass, longest kick. So I was like, who won a lot of medals in 2012? So I was like, it's probably Phelps, maybe like a pro-am kind of a thing, or as like a stunt, like they put him on as like a scratch, like an invite. And he's just freakishly talented at everything he does, including ripping bongs. So we went with Phelps.
All right, so both teams went with Phelps as their answer for the golf question. As a couple of pieces of information, golf is an Olympic event. It was in the 1900 Olympics, the 1904 Olympics, and then they skipped a couple of years, and then 16, 21, and 24. So it is currently an Olympic event. The putt took place at a PGA Tour Pro-Am. Your answer is Michael Phelps. Good work.
Nice.
All right.
Yes.
Boy, that was important to get right there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You sure it wasn't Fitzgerald?
I think it was Chris Pratt.
It's always a Chris. All right, round 3, question number 3. Your category is, I was told there would be no politics. Which U.S. president, the current president, the worst of all futures.
How about the future present?
Yeah. Which U.S. president was born the earliest in the 1900s? So you understand what I'm asking for, right?
I believe so.
If you look at birth dates, which one is the closest to the year 1900? because that was I rewrote this question a dozen times, and it was like, the first time I wrote it was, who was the first president to be born in the 1900s? And I'm like, nope, that is the wrong question. So I'm not asking who was the first president that was born in the 1900s. I am asking which president's birthday of the 40, whatever it is, 3 people that have been U.S. president, 44 people that have been U.S. president, which one's birthday is closest to the year 1900, coming in after 1900?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right, then we're going to lock.
They are locked in. Tara and Jonathan.
All right.
Okay, first we have to get our whole semantics thing straightened
So here's
out.
where I'm at. Kennedy is the answer to the first person who's president that was born in the 1900s. Everybody before him was born in the 1800s or earlier.
Oh, right. Okay, now I see what you're saying.
But let's say that a 90-year-old was the president right after Kennedy. He was born before Kennedy. So an older person who became president later could be born closer to 1900. I'm betting the answer is Reagan. Reagan was somewhere in his 60s or 70s when he became president in 1980. He was probably born in like 1909.
Yeah.
Kennedy would have been born in 1915 or 1920-ish.
Okay, so there aren't. The good thing is there aren't that many before that come after JFK in the presidential line.
It's Johnson, it's Nixon, it's Carter and Ford. Reagan, I bet, was born before all of them. That's my gut. I don't know the math on him. I don't know how old Ford was, but I don't think he was an old man.
How old was Johnson was Johnson
like he
became
was in
president in
his
63.
He looked like he was.
So he would have been born in the 19-teens.
Probably, and he might have been born in 19. So let's think about that. Johnson became president 63?
63.
He might have been more than. He might have been born in the 1800s. Do you think he was over 63 when he became president?
I don't know. Everyone. I mean, it's not like everyone looks super old, and then you hear they're like 48.
Yeah, that's fair. Johnson was older than Kennedy. I'm almost certain.
Yeah, by a lot.
But by how much?
But by.
And do you know how old Reagan was when he was elected? That's the really big question. Because I think he was like 70. People were making jokes about how old he was from the moment he was elected.
Right.
But I don't think he was over 80 when he was elected. I think he might have been like 76 or 77 when he was elected.
I feel like, how old was Joe Biden when he was elected?
I don't know. Isn't he like 102 right now?
Wasn't he the oldest?
You tell me.
And I feel like he's in
79.
I don't remember.
Ish.
It's all like a bunch of old guys.
This isn't my territory for knowing people's details.
Yeah, no, I have to remind myself how old I am.
Too,
what are you talking about? Like keeping up with how old other people are? I mean, especially like how old Jason is.
I think Johnson is the threat. I think it's it's either Reagan or Johnson.
It's Johnson or Reagan, so we have to pick one. So if Reagan was, let's say Reagan was 70 when he was elected.
I bet he was more like 72, 73, 75-ish.
Then he would have been born in 1910.
No,
we think that
No. He was Reagan became president in 1980. So if he was 75, he was born in 1905.
I said 70.
I think he was older than 70.
I'm just doing math in my head. The smoke, you see the smoke?
Mm-hmm.
So if he was 70 when he was elected, he was born in 1910. Mm-hmm. So if Johnson
was 60 when he was elected?
60 when he was elected, he was born in 1903.
I think the question becomes, if Johnson was younger than 63 when he became president, then he's the right answer. But I don't know, my gut's pulling me to Reagan.
Yeah, well, we know Reagan wasn't 80 when he was elected.
But I think he was I think he was 75 or older. I think he was in his 80s during his presidency. I could be wrong, though.
I think he was in his 70s, but I could be wrong about that. I mean, high 70s, but I think it was 70s.
Do you want to flip a coin?
You know how, that feeling when you flip a coin and...
You want to say something?
Then all of a sudden, you...
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think I just heard that episode when... Who was it that flipped the coin and then went the other way?
If I was alone, I would say Reagan. If you want to go Johnson, I won't argue it.
So let's go Reagan.
We're going to say Reagan.
All right, so they said Reagan. Jason and Darren, what did you say?
We said Lyndon B. Johnson.
Reagan was definitely the oldest president when he got elected. Like, there's no question about that. But I don't think... So I'm trying to work backwards here. So Biden is now the oldest president when he got elected.
How old is he right now?
I don't know how old he is off the top of my head. Just at 80, probably. He was born in 43. So he was 77 when he got elected.
Okay.
So the oldest possible, and I think Trump was then the oldest president elected, and Trump beat Reagan's record. So let's just say, hypothetically, Reagan was 75 when he got elected,
1905.
right? So that would have been 1905.
I'm counting on
But the
Johnson
thing there
being
is-
older than 63 when he became president. That's what I'm counting on.
I don't think that he was, but I think that Reagan lived to Reagan died in like
2004, I think.
Yeah.
like right around 2004. There's no way he lived to be 99. So like,
why not?
Because there's no way. Because
Degenerative brain disease also.
that's part of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
The other part of it is Carter is going to be the first to get to, if he makes it, knock on wood, he'll be the first to get to 100. So like, I don't think Reagan was that close.
Okay.
Like I thought he was in his 90s for sure, like 93 maybe. So like I was trying to spitball in our little chat, and I said Reagan was probably born like 1915-ish. Kennedy was born probably around 1918, but I'm almost positive LBJ was born like right around 1910, maybe a little earlier. He didn't live much longer after his presidency. He died, I want to say, like, I don't know, probably 69, 70, but he wasn't an old man by like the standards that we would consider like Biden is an old man.
All right.
So I'm pretty sure it's Johnson.
So much to unpack. By the way, this question now equals the previous 8 in the amount of time it has taken you to come up with an answer.
Well, it's the first time we've come up with a different answer, too.
Yeah. At the time of his inauguration, Ronald Reagan was the oldest president at 69 years, 348 days.
God, sorry.
Just shy of 70 years old when he was inaugurated. Trump then took that from him because he was just shy of 71, and then Biden took that from him because he was just over 78 years old when he was.
Wow. Okay.
And Bernie next.
Yeah. As far as birth dates go, you all were pretty close to it. Ronald Reagan was born in 1911. Gerald Ford and Richard Nixon were both 1913.
Wow, that's earlier than I would have thought.
Every president before Kennedy was born in the 1800s or earlier. Kennedy was born in 1917, but his vice president, Lyndon Johnson, was born in 1908. Lyndon Johnson is your
good job.
I'm sorry, Tara.
Wow.
That was a hard one.
That was really tough.
I feel like that came up recently, like on Jeopardy. Maybe it was the president born in the 1800s, which is what I got stuck on. And I looked this up just as like a matter of like, I wonder who.
Of course you did.
Turns out no one has been born in the 2000s yet, shockingly.
Well, the reason I asked this question is because I was looking at the list of the presidents at age of inauguration, and 4 out of the 6 oldest presidents have been like in our lifetimes, like recent presidents. So there's this weird trend where historically every year president's birth year goes up and up and up and up. But recently, with the exception of like Obama and W, it's been stagnant in like the 1940s. Like they're all grouped together in like a 20-year period.
I think W was in the 40s too.
Yeah. They're both actually, their birthdays are really close to each other. W and Clinton, they're about a month apart.
The boomers, they refuse to let go.
I'd love to go to that group birthday
party.
Oh, yeah.
Well, after round number 3, we finally have a differentiation in score. Jason and Darren have taken a commanding 10-point lead over Jonathan and Tara. Your score is 90 to 80. Your midpoint, the category is, it has nothing to do with the Mambo. The modern Olympic pentathlon was created as a variation on the military aspect of the ancient pentathlon. It focused on the skills required by a late 19th century soldier, with competitions showing the athlete's prowess in those skills. For 4 points apiece, name the 5 competitions in the pentathlon, the modern pentathlon.
Okay, I think we're good then.
Yeah, we're locked in.
Nick literally took my worst sports category, which is Olympic stuff, and made it harder.
Right.
Like, here's a very thing you never even think about part of the Olympics. So if he'll take it, long run, short run, hurdle run, shot put, javelin. Do you need more specifics, Nick?
That's good enough.
All right.
Okay.
He's like, they're wrong. You don't have to be specific at how wrong you are.
Right, exactly.
I'm not going to say that. So the pentathlon isn't actually a track and field event. It's its own thing.
Boo!
Sorry, Jonathan. And I really liked the logic as I was hearing you guys with like shot put, grenade. I'm like, that's really clever. But they take it like really literally. It's the actual like 5 things they want you to be able to do if you're a soldier in 1896, I guess. So We said fencing,
Fencing.
shooting, specifically pistol shooting if pressed, horseback riding, and I don't know like distance or any of that crap. So I hope, Nick, I'm not asked for that. Swimming, if I had to guess, freestyle, but I don't know. And then running, and the running is like cross country, like some sort of longer distance. Maybe, again, I don't know. I'm not even going to bother. If you want me to give you a distance, I'll guess one, but
Those are all acceptable. Let's go through these one at a time. And the categories that I'm using are the categories that the IOC uses. So it is their wording on this. The first one, most important thing for a soldier in the late 19th century to know how to do is shooting. Shooting is the specific IOC category. The second thing they want them to know how to do is they need to know how to swim. Swimming is the IOC category that they have in there. They don't have like a freestyle or a butterfly or anything like that. They just want you to be able to swim. Your third event is fencing. The fourth one is entitled equestrian. So horseback riding very much gets the credit there. And then the final one is cross-country running. So shooting, swimming, fencing, equestrian, and cross-country running. That is 5 out of 5 for the team of Jason and Darren, and 1 out of 5 for the team of Jonathan and Tara.
We're getting credit for long run. I had zero idea that any of those things.
I had fencing written down.
Really?
And then
You
I
said
went
it.
back to-
You said it out loud.
Fencing?
Did I say it out loud?
Oh, I don't remember. I didn't even hear it. I'm not aware of any of those things being an Olympic event like that. So, yeah, that's...
even running.
Shut up.
Biathlon has shooting in it.
Yes. Great. I'm talking about in this context. The context you just provided, I was completely unaware of. And I think, Tara, did you have a better idea, or were you unaware of those things being grouped together like that either?
You know, I feel like I've heard this come up before, and every time when I've heard it, I've thought, well, that's a weird combination of events. I should remember that.
Right? Oh, we just got Sterlacci'd.
But there's a lot of things I should do that I don't, so.
Yeah,
As a
Jason had those
postmodern
immediately.
pentathlete, I have to know these things.
Right. Yeah. You're an Olympic level pentathlete. I can see you got to get
Postmodern
ready for the tryouts. Yeah. Right.
Lazing about.
After the midpoint, your score is 110 to 84 with Jason and Darren in the lead.
Before we go on to the second half, I want to talk about SporcleCon. So Jason and Darren are here to promote SporcleCon. Tara, you were there last year. Nick, you were there last year. I've said a good amount about it, so I'd like to shut up and let you guys, particularly Jason and Darren, but also Tara and Nick, if you wish to share a little bit about what makes it cool.
So SporcleCon is kind of like a labor of love for those of us at the head offices of Sporcle.
The mothership.
It's definitely Mark's true brainchild, but it is something that I'm incredibly proud of working on, getting to flex my writing muscles, I guess, for lack of a better word. I don't really have muscles, as Nick was alluding to there, but on my end, it's probably the most tiring 3 days of my life. But it was so worth it last year to have so many people walk up to me and tell me how much fun they had, how great it was to meet people and see people in person for the first time since the hell that was 2020. The Battle of the Brains in particular was a real high point for me. Watching people scream bloody murder as they had to flip over playing cards to try to figure out a puzzle while answering trivia questions was...
Oh, I loved that one.
That was Mark's idea. I gotta give him credit for
that. Was great.
That was the only part of that event that I excelled at. I was worthless to my team at the entire rest of the event, but that one I'm like, oh no, I've got this.
Well, good news. I'm not going to spoil anything about Battle of the Brains this year.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're still writing it. I'm supposed to finish it this week. We'll see if that happens. Not going to happen. But the crazy crap is going to continue. And there's a lot more crazy crap this year. Nick, you're coming back, right? With District Trivia?
Yeah.
Yeah. In addition to Nick and another Trivial Warfare podcast, we've got some new games to promote. I'm really looking forward to Friday night. We're doing Last Quizzer Standing. That's our game show. It's going to be hosted by Ophira Eisenberg, who fans of public radio will know. She was the host of Ask Me Another back in the day. I get to meet her in a few weeks to discuss the game. It's going to be a lot of fun. That's going to be a blast. I'm in the middle of writing that. It's kind of crazy. It's like if The Price is Right meets trivia. So we're going to just call people up to the stage. Winner's going to get couple $100, I think. I don't remember.
Really awesome.
But it's not even about the money. I say that knowing that I'm going to make my salary, hopefully, either way. It's about just having fun and seeing people and getting a chance to connect. I know a lot of people stare at screens to do trivia. I certainly do. I get a lot of OQL, and it's just really nice to just see my friends in person, whether it's Tara or Jonathan or Nick or Darren or anybody who's not here in this channel. So I hope you all come. It's going to be fun.
Outstanding.
I never had to go up to Jason and tell him that I was having fun, because the joke in our friend group is that Jason came up to us a million times and said, "Are you having fun?"
It's quality control, Tara.
More concerned with people having fun, which I think comes through in the quality of the event. So, I mean, all joking aside, I will say that, everything Jason said about it is true. It's a lot of fun. It's a great chance to socialize with people, because there's a lot going on that you can choose to be a part of. And everyone's because there's a lot going on in one place, everyone's gathered in one place, so you can have like side conversations and go off and do other things. We played Ultimate Trivial Pursuit in the lobby a couple of nights. It's just, it's a great opportunity to see a lot of people maybe you've only seen, in your Learned League matches or on Facebook or heard on Trivial Warfare or other podcasts. Last year, I was very lucky to have our table proctor occasionally give me score updates for the Alabama game that was going on, and I'm hoping to have similar luck this year because it's a big game.
Last year was an absolute blast. It was the first time in years that most of us had gotten together. Jonathan, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's going to be 70 or 80 Trivial Warfare patrons and listeners that are going to be at this event, maybe 100.
Guarantee. We had some of the biggest laughs in our recording last year that I've ever heard in my life.
So much fun. But yeah, this year, Friday night at 5:00, I'm doing my district trivia with the Triviamatic app. That's a perfect time to do district trivia, then take a dinner break, and then come back for Ophira's Last Quizzer Standing event at 8:00. Erin is doing her Orange Cat trivia at 10 a.m. on Saturday morning.
Yep.
So, fans of the show can go see Erin do her trivia live without Jonathan telling her not to ask that question. We have the Trivial Warfare live.
We're going to have you, me, Erin, Carmela, Zakia. Am I missing anybody? We're going to have a full house.
Kit, I think
Kit will be there too. The only people from Trivial Warfare that won't be there are going to be Ben and Chris, to my knowledge.
The cool thing about SporcleCon was that there was always something to do. And not only am I referring to the event itself, because there was always 5 events going on at the same time, right? One of the hard parts of last year's SporcleCon was picking what you wanted to go to. But even if you're trivia'd out, there is a group of people having dinner at the bar upstairs. There's a group of people going down to the waterfront for drinks. There's a group of people going over to see a show at the Kennedy Center. There's a group of people
cramming 50 people into a 30-person karaoke bar.
Yeah, 30 is being generous. It was probably closer to 12. But there is so much going on and so much trivia and so many great people that there is no reason not to attend.
Yeah. It's really great to just hear how excellent all of yours experiences were. I'll say from my perspective, when I talk about Sporcle to people, I usually describe the company as having 2 halves. There's like the web team and the content team. But I think SporcleCon was a really great opportunity for us to work as a cohesive unit. I really was watching, people I work with on a daily basis, fully supporting the people Jason works with on a daily basis to achieve the singular goal of getting as much fun trivia happening at once as possible. That moment when the doors opened up on that first Friday was maybe one of the most scared moments of my life. And I frequently put myself on stage in front of people. So yeah, it was so rewarding just getting to watch everyone having a good time. I mean, that's why I personally perform, is to watch people have a good time. So if you like having a good time doing trivia, which I think most of the people listening to this podcast do, come check it out because it's worth it. It's everything you want to see. It's absolutely a labor of love for trivia and community. And, if everything you have heard so far doesn't convince you, I don't know what you're waiting for.
I'm with you. All right. And so that is your cue to go to SporcleCon.com, click on the buy tickets button or link and put in TWA as a discount code to get a discount on your SporcleCon tickets.
Round 4, question number 1. Your category is music.
Music.
Which song was recently re-released in 2023, coming in at number 33 on the Billboard charts, 26 years after it spent 3 weeks at number 1?
I like that as an answer. It's kind of a black hole for me. This kind of band, maybe, or yeah, it's in that era.
Oh, you sparked something for me.
Oh, yeah, I like that. I think we lock it in.
Yeah, I think you want to lock that in.
I do.
I just had a thought. It's probably nothing but Strange Currencies by REM was just re-released for the Bear, but I don't think Monster came out in 90. Monster might have come out in 97.
I don't think anything from Monster went to number 1, though.
That's a great point.
So you want to go with the one that's a movie tie-in?
Yeah.
Upcoming? Yeah, because I got nothing else. So I was trying to think of like what could have been number 1 for that amount of time. The first thing I thought of was Candle in the Wind 97, but that was number 1 for like forever. Then I was like, My Heart Will Go On, and that ties into the sub thing because people are morbid. But I don't think that was number 1 for 3 weeks. I feel like that was number 1, again, for a really long time.
Yeah.
So Darren spit out Barbie Girl. And, Barbie's coming out. It kind of makes sense.
I don't know if it was re-released, but...
it doesn't have to be re-released necessarily. It just needs to re-chart. I don't know if Barbie Girl even went to number 1, but, like, that's the best I think we've got. The only other thing that crossed my mind was, like, Hypnotize by Biggie, Mbop. But I don't know why they would rechart this year, unless I'm missing something really obvious. So we're going to go with Barbie Girl by Aqua and hope for the best.
Jonathan and Tara, what did you say?
Now that you say that, I do think they've just done an adult version of Mbop. Hanson as adults have done Mbop again. I don't know if it counts as a re-release, but there's a really clever thought. So the way that we went is definitely Nick making a morbid observation about Ocean Gate. We agree. We think that My Heart Will Go On lasted longer, but you don't have to buy things to chart anymore. You can just be popular on TikTok to get up the charts a decent ways, and people have been playing My Heart Will Go on top of Ocean Gate jokes nonstop, which could absolutely move that up to 33 on a charting situation. So we went with My Heart Will Go On.
Jonathan and Tara said My Heart Will Go On. Jason and Darren said Barbie Girl. Neither team is correct, although both teams did speak about the correct answer. Re-releasing the song as Mbop 2.0 as an adult version of the song is Hanson. The correct answer is Mbop.
Well, we didn't come up with it until after they said it. But that's not a re-release, Nick.
Yes, it absolutely is.
That's a new song.
Let me put it to you this way. Billboard considers it a re-release.
All right. Billboard's stupid. That's not a re-release. That is a release.
That's a new recording. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That is misleading at best.
I had a second where I thought it was the Fallout Boy.
We didn't start the fire. Yeah.
I said something to the effect of, if anybody suggests we publish the new lyrics, then I was going to roundly ignore them in all content discussions.
It's fair.
Like, oh yeah, let's put the new version. No, absolutely not.
Not a thing. No, but yeah, the reason why Mbop, it was 3 weeks at number 1. The reason why it's charting again is because it's a banger.
Fair enough.
That's a good song.
Yeah. Round 4, question number 2. Your category is Televisiones. TV. After 40 years as host of Wheel of Fortune, Pat Sajak has announced his retirement. Who was announced as his replacement, adding a seemingly 453rd job to his resume?
We're locked.
I think we can 3, 2, 1 this. Count it down, Nick.
Let's go 3, 2, 1. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Ryan
Seacrest.
Ryan Seacrest is your correct answer. And my question is, does that man ever sleep?
If there's one thing I can count on being discussed in Sporcle chats, it's game show hosts.
True.
Yeah, fair. I'm available for anybody who's looking. Round 4, question
Just
number 3.
Everywhere he goes, people know the part he's playing. Sorry, Nick.
You're not sorry.
Category is Just for a Minute. Introduced in the 1970s in the United States and a supposed precursor to grinding, what dance involved two partners colliding to the beat of the song? MC Hammer suggested we all take a minute and do it.
No. Mm-mm.
Okay, we're going to lock.
All right, Jonathan and Tara, you can talk out loud.
So, Tara, this is either called the bounce or the
just
bump.
For a minute, let's all do the
bump.
Do the
It's
bump.
Bump.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's bump.
Yeah, I think you're right.
All right, Nick, we're going to say the bump.
The bump. Jason and Darren, what did you say?
I had no idea until you said the MC Hammer part, and it is absolutely just for a minute. Let's all do the bump.
Both teams said the bump. Both teams are correct. The bump is your right answer.
See, Hansen should have brought that into play. Bump,
I agree.
Bump, bump, doo, bump. Choo-be-da-bop-a-doo, bump. It would have been great.
After round number 4, your score update, Jason and Darren with 130 points to Jonathan and Tara's 104.
Now, it is going to be important for Jason and Darren to miss a question before the show ends.
We did.
Yeah, they did. They missed the Barbie girl, the Bob question.
You mean miss a question that we don't miss?
Yes, multiple.
Oh, fair. Yes.
But that was the Barbie girl, the Mbob question was their first miss in the game. So they made it past the midpoint without a wrong answer. Round number 5, question number 1. Your category is children's rhymes. In the children's rhyme, The Farmer in the Dell, how does the cheese stand? And the 20-something-year-old looks confused.
We're not underthinking that, are we, Tara?
I mean,
That's the way I hear it in my head.
yeah.
All right, let's lock in.
Yeah, we can lock in.
All right, they're locked in. Darren, without Jason's help, what are you thinking?
Well, here's how much I know. Farmer in the Dell, hi-ho the Mario, farmer in the Dell.
Oh, so close.
I believe it's the Dario.
It is the Dario. It's a farmer. He has a dairy product.
Look, in fairness, Darren's from Alaska.
It's true.
No,
They don't have
cows.
these things.
All of our rhymes are about remembering which kind of bears to use pepper spray on and which ones to run from.
The answer is all of them. Run from all of them.
Yeah, if a bear's poop smells like pepper spray, it's a black bear, and if it smells like bells and hiking clothes, it's a brown bear.
So,
That's a misremember, but you get the joke.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
They eat people.
So, yeah, I was thinking of one of my favorite wrestlers from the 2000s, Jonathan. Dave Bautista walks alone.
Sure.
So I believe the cheese stands alone.
All right, so they said alone. Tara and Jonathan, what did you say?
Tara, we both stand alone.
We're never alone. We have each other.
Aw.
Standing alone
But
together.
we have stand alone. Yeah. The cheese stands alone.
We could be like Oleander and walk alone.
You never walk alone.
Yeah, any Liverpool fan will tell you that.
Both teams said alone. Both teams are correct. Alone is your right answer and where the cheese stands. Question number 2, round number 5. The category is the most expensive sucker. A hypothetical spherical megastructure that encompasses a star and captures its energy was originally theorized by which scientist? No word if he later transitioned into home cleaning products.
We're locked.
They don't even have to talk about it. Jonathan and Tara, you can talk out loud.
Honestly, Tara, it sounds like you know the answer to this.
So I'm pretty sure this is like called a Dyson sphere, or it's theorized that it. I don't know. There's a lot of science and science fiction stuff around it, like kind of a melding of those two worlds. I think there was some belief that maybe some of the gravitational wave stuff that we were getting was related to that, or could it like be signs of intelligent life elsewhere, and they could have built this like enormous structure to be around a star or around a black hole. But I think the short answer is Dyson.
Is that why they put a ball in their vacuum cleaner? Was that a Dyson sphere?
That's above my pay grade. I don't know.
The ball on the vacuum cleaner is a Dyson sphere. That is correct.
That's technically true.
Jason and Darren, what did you say?
I wrote down Dyson and sent that before you even got to the cleaning product part, because I'm a huge sci-fi nerd, and there's like this, if you use an entire planet's energy, it's like a type 1 civilization. And then if you use an entire star's energy, it's a type 2 civilization. Yep. And a Dyson sphere would be how you would become a type 2 civilization. So me reading Larry Niven and Ringworld back in the day apparently pays off.
Yep.
And if you use all the energy from a star to make a hammer, then
you're Norse god. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're Thor.
Exactly.
I'd be Thor after that. I mean, it'd have to hurt.
Yeah, you got to stretch. Both teams said Dyson. Your correct answer is Freeman Dyson. Dyson is right. Very good. All right, round number 5, question number 3. Your category is not monkeying around. Bet Graham, an American typist, commercial artist, and inventor of liquid paper, was also the mother of which member of the 1960s band, The Monkees?
Meow!
We agree. Yeah, exactly.
Very confident. We're locking in.
They're locked in. Darren and Jason, you can talk out loud.
I spelled it wrong for what it's worth.
Darren, are you saying of course sarcastically?
Hey, we're the monkeys.
Aha.
I don't even know if I can name all 4 monkeys. It's part of the problem. So there's Davy Jones.
Of course.
There's Peter Tork.
Right.
There's
David Bowie.
the third guy.
Yeah.
And there's Michael Nesmith.
Mm-hmm.
I said I think it's Nesmith, but I don't know why I think that. It could be the third guy whose name I don't remember. Pretty sure it's not Davy Jones.
Davy Jones kept David Bowie from using his real name, so he's already got enough going on for him.
That is true. And he has his locker.
The third guy does a lot of cartoon voices.
Was it Lorenzo Music?
Lorenzo Music? Where did that come from?
He's a guy who does cartoon voices. I don't know.
He was Garfield's voice, I think.
Yeah.
I think we're going to say Nesmith, but I am not.
Yeah, let's do it.
We're not really confident on that, but we're going to go with Nesmith.
They're going with Nesmith. Jonathan and Tara.
Boo.
Don't you want to go with one you're not confident?
Right?
Isn't third guy?
You couldn't go with Mickey
The third guy
Dolenz?
is Mickey Dolenz.
Lorenzo
Mickey
Music?
Dolenz, that's right.
Yeah, it's Nesmith.
Well, it's definitely Mike Nesmith.
Your correct answer is Michael Nesmith. Good work. After round number 5, your score is Jason and Darren with almost perfect 160 points to Jonathan and Tara's very, very good 134.
Damn you, Hanson.
It's not the first time they've heard that.
Yeah, no, for real.
All right, round 6, question number 1. Your category is first come, first served. 15-year-old Annie Moore was the first person to visit what famed New York hotspot, which opened on January 1st, 1892?
1892?
Yep. The answer is not Nesmith, guys.
Could I see the question in the chat, please?
Yeah.
You know how sometimes you can overthink a question?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I underthink
Oh,
a question.
I cannot overthink a
Underthink.
question. Yeah.
I can overthink a question so much that it gives me a wrong answer for the next question.
I was going to say, you can overthink a question so much that you loop all the way back around to the
Right. I've eliminated every possible answer from the whole galaxy of answers.
Right.
Yeah, I like
Yeah,
that. Darren.
I like
think
this.
that's a solid answer. You want to lock it in?
Yeah, let's do it. Locked
All
in.
right, we're locked.
All right, Terry, you suggested way better answer than I did. I threw out the Empire State Building in Times Square, but Empire State Building wasn't around, and you can't be the first person to visit Times Square.
Right.
But there is a place where you got to buy tickets for it, and that was your suggestion.
So Coney Island was the first thing that came to mind. Definitely old enough. There's lots of New York hotspots, especially this time of year. I can't think of one that I like. I'm underthinking it probably, but I can't think of an answer that I like better than Coney Island.
I like it. Is Coney Island named after pigs, out of curiosity? 'Cause aren't Coney's pigs?
No, Coney's are rabbits.
Rabbits, that's
Named
what I
after
was
rabbits.
trying to think of.
Rabbits.
Is it named for rabbits?
Yes.
How about that?
Yep.
Darren, you want to walk us through?
Jason said Studio 54, and I said, and
It's still
I
that, obviously.
think that's too new. And I said Coney Island because similar thinking to Tara, time period seems right, and it seems like something a teen would go to.
And also hot dogs, that makes
Coney Island
perfect sense.
dogs.
Yeah.
All right. So both teams said Coley Island.
No, he didn't.
Coley.
Neither team
Neither
said
team.
Coley
I don't think
Island.
Either of us said Coley Island.
Coley Island is not correct. Both teams said Coney Island. Your correct answer is an island. It is not Coney. It is
Ellis Island. Oh.
Oh.
Ah.
I mean, a hot spot? I don't know.
Tell me a hotter spot in New York in 1892.
Oh,
I
wow.
suppose that's a fair point.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
a miss.
Wow.
All right.
It
So
hurts.
both teams are incorrect on that one. That would have been a good chance to catch up, Jonathan and Tara. But
Well, thanks.
round 6, question number 2. As a quick backstory to me writing this game, real quick, I had written all but 2 questions. I had the midpoint, I had the warmed up Chris, I had the gauntlet done, I had all the questions done except for 2 questions. So there's 2 questions that I wrote today. And I decided that I was in the middle of a rant on a phone call. I decided I'm just going to start writing down what I'm ranting about, and that'll be the question. So here's your question. And the category is Nick's rant. In construction, when you build a structure that could come into contact with moisture, you are supposed to use pressure-treated lumber. The process of pressure-treating lumber involves infusing the wood with a rot prevention substance. That is until 2004, when the EPA ruled that what element a metalloid with the atomic number 33, could no longer be used in the process as it was a poison that would leach from the wood into the water table. This means that since then, pressure-treated material no longer works. And all this, and they still haven't even done a study on old Victoria's Secret underwear.
Atomic number 33. Oh, Jonathan.
I didn't add the D
Yikes.
there, but I'm trying to go with the clue.
It's funny because I thought this right away, and then I was like, but it doesn't fit the clue. And then you made your joke.
And it's right, isn't it?
But your joke made me realize what the joke is.
Is that an element? Because I've never heard of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nick, we're locking in.
Crap.
All right, well, you could, Jonathan
talk
and
now.
Tara, you can talk out loud.
So I might as well reveal what I said or tried to say. So I didn't know, and I don't know what element number 33 is. I don't know what it was treated with. I don't know what Nick was mad about. The only in that I had was, what might you find on Victoria's Secret underwear? And I asked, is this going to be an element present in some form of ejaculate? And that spurred Tara on to an answer.
Wow, Tara.
Well, I was like, so when you said element, so I'm like, wait a second, what number did you say? And I'm going to the chat and I'm looking at, so 33. Immediately my brain pinged. See, thanks a lot, Jonathan.
Bean.
Oh, God. Astenine. Or
Astatine?
Astatine. Wait. Now that I said it out
I
loud.
think astatine is something more of what I've heard. Is it one of the markers in...
Astatine. I'm conflating asinine and astatine.
Is it a genetic marker of some sort?
Oh, I don't... No, it's ass. You would have your ass in Victoria's Secret underwear.
Oh, is that the gag?
That's what I think the joke is.
AS?
I think it's ass. Sure.
All right.
Yeah.
Sure.
AS.
But you feel good about it.
Yeah. So I think it's astatine.
Let's do it.
Okay.
All right, they locked in with astatine. Jason and Darren, what did you say?
I think we followed sort of a similar path, but started it with maybe the right answer, which is I said arsenic right off the bat. And then we kind of worked that into a tie-into
Old lace.
arsenic and old lace being old.
The old in Victoria's Secret. is
Tara,
what-
what's really irritating is as you were talking, I was like, I wonder if that's close to arsenic.
Oh, no.
I didn't say anything.
So arsenic is our answer.
Oh, God. I don't feel good.
Astatine is one of those damn halogens. It's a highly radioactive element and not likely to be in ejaculate. It's also atomic number 85. Your correct answer is arsenic.
And what's the likelihood of
sorry,
arsenic
Jonathan.
being an ejaculate?
All right, so 10 points for Jason and Darren. They grow their lead over Jonathan and Tara. Your final question of regulation, round 6, question number 3. Your category is Wally's World. And this is one of those questions that when I saw this, I went, you have got to be kidding me. There's no way this is true. And then I looked it up, and it was true because the internet told me so, just like all of my previous questions. With no problem.
And Frankie Muniz's 28 kids.
Yeah. The talent scout responsible for acts like Diana Ross, Sam Cooke, Marvin Gaye, and Simon and Garfunkel.
Simon Eisen Garfunkel.
It's a type of Ford, a Garfunkel. The talent scout responsible for acts like Diana Ross, Sam Cooke, Marvin Gaye, and Simon and Garfunkel is actually better known for his chocolate chip cookies. His first name is Wally. What is his famous last name?
Yeah, we're locked in.
Yeah, we're locked in. 2-2.
Jonathan.
Yeah.
Oh, the what? Tara, do you want to say Amos?
Oh, yeah, because, I mean...
Famous Amos?
It's a chocolate chip cookie-like person, and he's famous.
His last name wasn't Chips or Ahoy, was it?
Well, I mean, I hope not.
Keebler? No, probably Amos.
No. I mean, if it's not Amos, I mean, it's not going to be Mrs. Fields.
No.
It's not, I mean, Nestle Tollhouse was named after a place.
I was going to say, his name is Wally Tollhouse.
It's Wally Toulouse, actually. It's a French.
Yeah, I like Amos. Let's do it.
All right, so they're locked in with Amos. Jason and Darren, what did you say?
Amos, simultaneously.
Yeah, I think I read somewhere that he was a scout before he became, everybody liked his cookies or some crap. I don't know. Something like that.
A lot of cookies eaten up there at Sporcle headquarters.
Oh, yeah.
Seeing as how I'm in the remote New Jersey office, I wouldn't know. But yes, in this office.
Both teams said Amos. Both teams are correct. Famous Amos. Wally, famous Amos is your correct answer. So at the end of regulation, Jason and Darren have almost perfect game. 180 out of 200 points is what they've scored so far. Jonathan and Tara with a incredibly impressive 144. So at this point, I will give you the category and you will tell me your wager, any or all of those points. Your category is In the Midnight Hour, She's Not the Hero.
Can you be more specific about what that's going to entail?
Questions about that category.
Okay, Nick, our wager is set.
We had 144, Nick.
You had 144. That is correct.
Mm-hmm.
Our wager is locked in.
All right. Both teams are locked in with their wager. Your category, once again, is In the Midnight Hour, She Is Not the Hero. Based on the paper game called Bulls and Cows, which board game involves deciphering a code made up of 4 colored balls in a specific order?
We're good. We're locked.
All right.
All right. We're locked in.
Okay.
All right, they are locked in. Your second question, which 1986 movie is about a woman named Sarah who is unhappy with a colicky baby?
We're going to lock.
All right, we're locked in. We're doing great, Nick. We got
And
this.
your final question of the gauntlet in the category of In the Midnight Hour, She Is Not the Hero. Which video game created by PopCap Games in 2001 involved matching different types of gems and has sold over 50 million copies worldwide?
Okay, I believe you.
We can lock in.
Sure.
Yeah,
we can lock
for
that
sure.
in.
We're also locked in on that.
All right, back to the top.
What we need, Tara, is for them to have missed one of these.
Well, yeah.
Truly, that is what we need.
Oh, God, it was so long ago. I don't even remember what the hell we said.
Your category for the round, In the Midnight Hour, She Is Not the Hero. I can go ahead and tell you now what the answer is.
What do you mean? What the
or
category
at least what
meant?
what the category meant. Yeah, nobody picked up on it. If she's not the hero, she's the anti-hero, and the album is Midnight. These are all Taylor Swift songs on the Midnight album. All of the correct answers are names of songs on the album.
That's a freaking puzzle. That is that as a category, that is really layered.
And all 3 of the answers are puzzles too, technically.
Yep.
We have to solve 2 different pieces of a puzzle in order to get the category. Thanks, Nick.
Obviously, it didn't help. But obviously, I underestimated Taylor Swift's popularity. I agree with you, Jonathan. She is not that good of an artist.
Nick,
I think it's a
You're
weird
the problem.
opinion.
It's you.
Question number 1, based on the paper game called Bulls and Cows, which board game involves deciphering a code made up of 4 colored balls in a specific order? Jonathan and Tara, what did you say?
Now that you say that, I wonder if this is going to be some game called Mastermind or something like that.
Yeah, it is. I think it is.
Because I like that song.
That's a good song.
Yeah. Well, I don't even know that's on that album, but that she did a song called Mastermind.
She is a mastermind.
We said Othello.
Othello. Jason and Darren, what did you say?
Darren said he thought it was Mastermind, but he wasn't entirely sure because he was worried it might be 3 balls But I got nothing better, so we said Mastermind.
Mastermind.
I've never seen or heard of this game. It just hit me as a good name for a game because of album songs.
I had a copy of it as a kid. I don't know where it came from, but
Sporcle regularly publishes Mastermind quizzes to the front
and
page.
I've played those.
Sporcle.com / well, nothing. It's the front page.
Yeah.
That's your plug for today.
Yeah.
Well, one of several.
Yeah, Mastermind, Jonathan, was the game. It has a long,
Nick,
narrow
I've never
board.
seen it. You can't describing it is not going to help me recognize something I haven't seen.
I am blown away by the fact that you have never seen this game.
Nope.
I'm blown away by it. It's a huge game.
I've heard of it, but I don't.
It's fun.
I've never played it.
All right. Question number 2. Which 1986 movie is about a woman named Sarah who is unhappy with a colicky baby? Jonathan and Tara, what did you say?
We said a lot of stuff, but we ended up on 3 Men and a Baby because we had to lock in after we ran out of time.
All right. So they said 3 Men and a Baby. Jason and Darren, what was your answer?
This one stumped us for a while. So I was trying to think through it. We tossed out the Terminator for a little bit, but I think Terminator was 84 for sure. I was trying to think of like movies I watched as a kid where there is a baby with colic. And I don't know that the baby actually has colic, but the only thing that I could think of, and I was trying to think of the title Midnight Hour, and I thought about there's this movie that came out in the 80s where the clock has 13 hours on it, and that's all about a crying baby. And it's the David Bowie masterpiece Labyrinth.
So I couldn't be more pissed off now, Tara, Because
Right.
my girlfriend's name is Sarah. She loves this movie. She particularly loves saying Sarah friend because of Ludo. We watched this less than 2 months ago. I could not be less happy about this.
Jason, just FYI, the official definition of colic is a unhappy baby who is crying.
Fair enough. Okay.
There's no like medical reason
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah.
Well,
It's just
well,
a baby who's
then,
crying.
that
I
being
asked,
said,
what is
it's
colicky? And Jason says, it's a baby that has colic.
Can't use the word to define the word, Jason.
It's a baby that cries a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what, I thought you knew what colic was, Darren. I don't know.
I don't have a kid.
You are a kid.
You are a child, yeah.
Ouch.
Last question of the gauntlet, question number 3. Which video game created by PopCap Games in 2001 involved matching different types of gem and has sold over 50 million copies worldwide? Jason and Darren, what did you say?
Bejeweled.
And Jonathan and Tara.
We too said Bejeweled.
Back to the top, the paper game that was based on bulls and cows that's about deciphering a code. Your correct answer is Mastermind.
Just for what it's worth, the opposite of hero is not anti-hero. Not even close. No relation between those two words.
I'd agree with that.
They both have hero in them.
That's the only relation between those two words. I'm just trying to figure out your logic for how you expected us, either team, to figure out that category.
I said Midnight, which is the name of the album. I don't know. I gave it to a couple of people.
Word, and it's
Honestly,
the same word as the other word.
So I gave it to 4 different people. 2 of them immediately told me, "Is this about Taylor Swift?" That was their immediate take on the category title.
Oh, yeah.
So
there you go.
Well, Nick, now we've got bad blood.
that's it. That's all it is. We're never getting back together. Question number 3. So both teams said Bejeweled. Both teams are correct. Bejeweled is your right answer. Very little drama at this point. Jason and Darren got all 3 right. Jonathan and Tara got 2 out of 3 wrong. Jonathan and Tara, what did you wager?
We in a bout of masterful wagering,
Yeah.
we wagered 72.
72, which brings their total to 72 for the game. Jason and Darren, you had 180 points going in. You got everything right. What was your wager?
We wagered 109.
109 points for the lockout. 289 to 72 is your final score, with Sporcle's own representatives, Jason and Darren, as your winners today. Congratulations.
Good job.
Wow.
That was a dominant performance. That
Well
was
done.
really, really strong.
Thank
They
you.
got
They're gonna
2
get you.
questions wrong. 2
Yeah,
in the whole game.
including the midpoint.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a really, really strong game.
I'm going to say Jason did a lot of the stuff, but I feel like
That's not
I
true.
helped.
I love that. Well, before we go, we'd like to give everybody a chance to do shout-outs and promote causes that they care about. Darren and Jason, you're on the winning team. So, Darren, we'll start with you.
Then I'll say definitely check out SporcleCon. Again, if you're listening to this, it's probably something you would enjoy. I'm in a sketch comedy group called Maple Daddies. We have a YouTube channel where we post things occasionally that we have filmed. And donate to an abortion fund in Pacific Northwest Abortion Access. It's a good thing.
There you go. All right. Jason, over to you.
I'm also going to say, please come to SporcleCon. You will have a lot of fun. Even if you're not like a super trivia player, there is something for you there. There's something for you to have fun with. There are people to meet, and there's a lot of fun to have. In addition, I was going to say Planned Parenthood, but my backup will be, please support people who are wrongfully incarcerated. Oh my God. Incarcerated. Let me try
That
one.
too.
I think
Please
all
support
people who are
wrongfully
incarcerated have been wrongfully incarcerated.
Yes, people who have been wrongfully incarcerated. The Innocence Project, Centurion, these are great causes. People should not be spending time in jail for things. I mean, screw jails in general, but, people should not be spending time in jail when it's very obvious they did nothing wrong. And these people do really hard work to get people out that need their lives back.
All right. There we go. Thank you, Jason. Tara, over to you.
I'm going to do a little self-promotion and say that one of the things my partner has gotten me into is making zines. He's a longtime zinester, and he runs a zine distribution called theworddistribution.com, and you can get my first zine, which is called If I Had a Nickel, and soon you'll be able to get our joint zine, which is we're doing a tea biscuit, like a British biscuit review zine called Biscuit Banter, and I'm also working on a trivia zine called What Else Could It Be? And so you can get those at theworddistribution.com. And the other thing I'll just say is more of a general, people can be kind of crummy in this world and get away with it a lot. We see that, at work sometimes, definitely in media. And, think about what you can do to be an ally to others. And when you see or hear someone saying something crummy or racist or sexist or whatever, sometimes something as simple as that's not okay, or I don't agree with what you just said, or can you explain what that means? We'll stop that interaction and we'll let other people know you're a safe person. So just think about the small ways that you can make the world a little less crummy.
I love that. And that is going to wrap us up. So, for Tara, for Jason, for Darren, for Nick, and for Sporcle, I'm Jonathan, and this has been episode number 436 of Trivial Warfare, where it's not just trivia, it's war. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
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 Thanks for listening to Trivial Warfare. Be sure to check out the revamped TrivialWarfare.com as your one-stop shop to submit questions, join the community, and get access to over 150 archived episodes. Warm It Up was written and performed by Matthew Stevens. This episode was edited and produced by me, Joel Sharpton. For help with your podcast, visit ProPodcastingServices.com.
Sounds like a Southern name to me.
No, I'm in the South. We're not Zelda people down here.
I'm from Alabama. What are you talking about?
All right, you got a lot of Zeldas in Alabama? Because we don't in Georgia and Florida. It is a rare name.